Oggi ha ritratto quella sgualderina mentre crepava.
All right, man.
What's up, guys?
We back up in there like swimwear. What's happening?
Yeah. Really excited for this one today.
Yeah, man.
I mean, once like Haste the Laughing Windows gets mentioned, like I'm all over it. Because
Right.
any excuse just to watch this film for me. But yeah, really excited.
Yeah, man. So this is an hour to kill, episode 36, and today we're covering just a couple of Pupi Avati's Gialli, and this is a multi-genre director. It's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah,
go ahead.
I was going to say it certainly is with that second film we're going to cover.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be interesting to see what the mix of that.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna have to come back and do Zetter at some other time, and then kind of go through his filmography and maybe pick a couple more to go with it. But let me catch the comments right quick.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. We got, as my wife, I'm here waiting. Yeah.
Hey, Tash. Your biggest supporter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's saying that, but she's also saying, I'm here waiting, like, looking at her clock kind of doing. Texas, what's going on, man?
Hey, Tex.
Welcome back to the panel of pain. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for always supporting Texas. You're very welcome. You're one of the best on here. Oh, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Tex.
He's probably talking about my wife.
Oh, yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Holland? What's going on, man?
Hey, Holland.
All right. I see people talking to each other. We got James Van Dusen. What's going on?
Hey, man. That's a new name, isn't it? I don't think he's been in.
I've seen him the last stream. Yeah.
Oh, he's in the last one, was he?
Yeah, okay. Welcome, man. Glad to have you.
Good to have you on board, man.
We got Wilkie's Movies and Music. Corey.
Hey, man.
What's going on, man?
Hey.
And we got let's see. Got Gizmo in here. What's going on?
Gizmo in the house. Hey, man.
Holland the Cenobite.
Hope us all well.
all in the
I
cinema.
bet he's getting ready for that stream tomorrow, which he got that epic kind of
Yeah.
Oscar stream.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
God, rather him than me do that. I think.
Right. Yeah, he's
I
got.
think Dan's got one as well, hasn't he? Daniel Shine.
Yeah. Yeah. He
They
did
cover all the
something.
Oscars.
I think he did something last night.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's see. But yeah, man. Let's see. So Gizmo's covering all. He's naming everybody in the chat. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we're gonna get on to some Pupi Avati, man, or
Hell yeah.
Giuseppe Avati, which I didn't know that until recently.
No,
But
I didn't know that till we just come on air, like basically, or just before we come on air.
right. But so this guy, he's a director, screenwriter, and producer, and he hated to be like put in like to some kind of little box. He's kind of against the grain kind of director, and if you notice in his, like, I haven't seen many of his. I've only seen 3 of his films, but if you notice, they're not like really like big time sleaze or nothing,
No.
Because I believe he's a devout Catholic, and even there's a scene in this film. Toward the end of this film, you see a woman's breast. He didn't even direct that scene.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so to kind of get into his story, he was growing up in Bologna, Italy, and it was during World War II. So that city got bombed really bad, heavily. So everybody there was like really into cinema. So he would go to the cinema, like, because you'd see all this rubble and just bad shit all around. People were starving. So they would go to the cinema to escape the harsh reality of what was going on. And I was like, damn, man, I was listening to this, and he was inspired by Fellini of all.
Right. Yeah.
He was like, he's seen a lot of cinema. He was in love with it, but Fellini's 8.5 is what inspired him to become a director. And so, but before all that happened, like, he was really into jazz, and he studied political science at the University of Florence. He played the clarinet. He was in a group with Lucio Dalla. So he's like some big famous musician over there. He like surpassed him, and like he quit doing it because he felt like he surpassed him with his talent.
Okay. Right. I don't know any of this, so yeah, this is great.
Right. And so he quit doing all that, and then he started getting into directing, and he's done like close to 40 films and TV, like shows and stuff. So, yeah.
He's not really. Would you say was not really a big name in Italy at all then? Because
yeah, he's won a ton of awards, man. Like he's
that's the impression I got. Because he did do a lot. Like you say, the genres he covers is just so widespread. Like you can, like, in that way, like Fulci, he can do any type of genre.
Yeah, but he was a writer too. So he helped write. He co-wrote on Salo of all films, 120 Days of Sodom. He helped Lamberto Bava with Macabre.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. I mean, he's written a bunch of things. His brother's a producer, so it's kind of like the Martinos,
right? Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm not going to bore everybody with this whole with everything, but I just I don't think he really gets talked about enough. And
he doesn't.
And I don't think too many people know about him. But he's an amazing filmmaker just from the 3 films I've seen. You can see that even though one of them's not not my favorite, I can still see his direction is on point.
I think just for this first film alone, Haste of the Laughing Windows,
Yeah,
you've got to put him up there in like the top 10 Italian directors of all time, just for this film alone. That's how much I think how strong this film is.
Yeah, it's a very strong film, man. This holy
it's a
shit.
masterpiece. It really is. I believe it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, I think so, man, for sure. Now, I need to check out some of his other stuff. Like I said, he's got 40 films to go through his filmography,
Yeah.
But yeah, so his father moved him out to the country. And that's kind of how I'm going to segue into House with Laughing Windows, because almost every film he's made is very personal films from his experience,
Right. Yeah.
But so I don't know if you want to get into the synopsis on House with. You want me to, or you want to?
If you've got one, go for it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. So this is House with the Laughing Windows. We're gonna just go ahead and kick it off, man. If you haven't seen this, I highly recommend it. This needs a Blu-ray, but I'll tell you what, this DVD is not a bad transfer, and it's got a 20-minute interview with Pupi Avati. You can kind of, I mean, this is a great film, man.
That's the edition I want, really.
Right.
Because mine's just bare bones, like pretty much just.
Okay.
I I prefer the cover on yours as well.
This is pretty much bare bones, and it's got a, I got the disc in there, but it's got the original art or whatever as well.
Oh, nice, man. It's worth it just for that interview, I think.
Yeah, it's a great interview. It really is. That's where I got a lot of the information I got. I'd rather get it from the interviews, but
yeah. It's criminal. Like, this has not got a Blu-ray or 4K release.
Yeah, I could see it coming. I could definitely see it coming because, man, so many people love this damn movie. But I guess before we get into it, I'm gonna catch the chat right quick, catch up with it, and let's see. Okay, Gizmo said, "Oh, good afternoon, everyone." Yeah, man.
Good to have you, man.
Let's see. Gizmo says Pupi Avati is probably the most praised director after Argento, but he is most known for art films and serious drama. So in many ways, I would say Avati is the biggest Italian director who also did The Trash We Watch. His most known work is up there with the big boys that makes Argento and Fulci look like teenage schoolgirls in Heat.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, he's so he is really highly regarded.
Yeah, I looked at his he's been nominated and won some big ass awards, like in world cinema. So
yeah, that's interesting. Gizmo says that he's actually put above Argento, which I mean, you can't argue. Yeah, I've only seen a few of his films, but I mean, you can't argue with the quality of this one.
I think he's maybe speaking just like on, like, as a whole, as a
whole in general. Yeah.
But yeah. So he did this film, House with the Laughing Windows, and this is after they did a film called Bordella,
right?
And it flopped. And so he wanted to, and he lost a lot of money on it. So he wanted to make a film right away, and he wanted to prove that he could make a film with not very much money, and so you can really see, like, in this film, man. But anyway, I'll go into the synopsis, man. I know I feel like I'm just running. I'm just talking like
man.
I'm really excited about this one, though, man.
I mean.
Yeah. So it's set in 1951. Stefano has been requested to restore, excuse me, a fresco painting which resembles Saint Sebastian, the martyr, inside a church. People in this town seem real clannish, like. There's definitely something off with the entire situation. You know, people are not very helpful. Like
Right. Yeah.
there's things where like you see shutters, like you see a shutter move, and they're like looking, or you know, it's got that like you're being watched the entire time. You
It's
know, and
all
you
done with atmosphere in it.
it
You know,
is,
like
man.
you
It's
say,
done
there's no kind of money behind the film. Because I
right.
believe he started off the company, you know, and this was his first film. He did a company with his brother, I believe. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like you say, this one starts off really strong. And I don't know how much you want to go into spoilers with this one.
No, I don't want to spoil it, but I mean we
Right.
can
So
talk
we're
about it.
gonna, yeah,
You know,
we'll talk around different aspects.
yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
I want people to see this. I know I always say that, but
Right.
yeah. But the opening is outstanding. I think, you know, really creepy. You got this guy. He's like tied up and he's being stabbed. Um,
Right.
and what seems to be like the mad ramblings of some psychopath.
Yeah.
You know, it is really eerie, really strange. Like, you know, and he's going on about colors and purity, and like saying he can feel, you know, this man dying, and
Right.
I mean, it just sets up the film
So
really
there
well.
so I probably didn't explain that well enough. There is this insane painter that died, and that's the painting he's got to restore, but you know, the whole town knows about this guy. Like
Right.
and as he starts getting into it, he starts finding more things that are like horrible, you know, horrible truths. and
Yeah. Yeah. Because he
and
arrives, doesn't he, on the island? There's only like these boats coming in onto this island, or you know, where they're staying.
right.
Um, and I mean, it's so like small, this town. You've got this small like dwarf like mayor, and he's trying to push the legend of Legani's paintings,
Yeah.
you know, to try and get the town a bit more famous and more people to
Tourism.
flock. Yeah,
Yeah.
more people to flock there and all that. But Stefano straight away, like, he knows that there's something up with this town. It's
But
got
he
that,
almost gets obsessed too,
like,
though. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like he's really obsessed with this artwork, with this painting on this fresco, whatever.
right, yeah. And there's that creepy kind of Wicker Man type vibe as the
Yes, I
film
mean, or
goes on.
like, or dead and buried, I guess you could say too. Uh,
Right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
in a way, you know, not exactly, but yeah, that real clannish type mentality of the town. But
Yeah, it's really eerie. So you know the backstory of like Bionio Lagani, the painter. So he basically died 20 years ago. He was known as a painter of agonies, as Dirk said. And what he would do is he would catch people. He would paint people in the last throes of their death.
right,
A lot of people, you know, wanted this service back in those days for whatever reason. But he come to like a violent end when he ended up burning himself, but his body was never found.
right,
And I mean, there's been this legend around this town or place that they're living in ever since. So this painting is really important, you know?
right. But yeah, so uh, not trying to switch off, but I just want to say one last thing about Avati. He said he wrote the treatment while he was sitting at his kitchen table at night, and it scared the shit out of him. And he while he was writing it, and
Right, yeah, yeah.
he said that the writer must be the first victim of the fear he is inventing. I was like, holy shit!
Right, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, we continue on, man. I don't like. I guess we can spoil it, but I'll get to the point. Like, I'll hit
Yeah,
the
I think
spoiler.
we can, but we might have to just like tell people.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the
But
spoiler alert. Sorry.
right, yeah, but I just want to say a little bit about Stefano.
Right.
So he was played by Lino Capicciolo. I'm not sure if I'm,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, saying that right.
Right.
Basically, this guy was one of the best, like, well-known faces in Italy, round
Right.
about 1968 onwards.
Yeah, Lino
He,
Capolicchio.
Capolicchio, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
best way to say it, I think.
Right.
But he was originally cast in Deep Red in the David Hemmings role, but
Mhm.
for some reason that fell through. But there's an interesting way of how he came, onto this film. So he accepted the role after receiving a phone call from his wife. So his wife basically rung him up and said, "I've just read this script. It's absolutely amazing." She couldn't sleep one night, so she decided to read it. Got straight on the phone to him. He rushed back apparently next day or whatever, read it and said, "Yeah, it's like a Gothic film." And he said, "It's so original. I've never seen a Gothic film done this way. I'm on board straight away." So that's how he came, to get on the film. And that's quite a big, it's a big role, but I mean, he was a big actor, so it's kind of like a feather in their cap to get this guy.
Yeah, for sure. And then Francesca Marciano, she was like an unknown,
Yeah.
She plays Francesca. Her name is like, so same damn name, same first name, but
yeah,
you got Gianni Cavina playing Coppola.
Right.
Giulio Pizzarani is playing Antonio Mazza. Yeah, I won't name everyone.
You got Bob Tonelli, though, we will mention, who plays the little dwarf, kind of mayor, Salmi.
Right.
He's kind of a big character, pardon the pun, but he is like a big character in this film.
He is, man. He's like he's the one that hires Stefano.
Yeah. So hopefully we've opened that up really well and got people wanting to know more, because
it's you got the rural setting in the countryside. It's not glamorous. This is not an Argento, like heavy blood and heavy lighting and none of that.
Right. Yeah.
This is all mood, atmosphere. Things are decayed looking, decrepit looking. You notice
exactly.
You notice the sound that like I call it the happy music in the film.
Yeah,
it reminds me of Twin Peaks. I swear to God.
Right, I've never put that together, but
and then the little dwarf character reminds me of Twin Peaks too.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, the whole look, it's probably been said 1,000 times, but it does have that "Don't Torture a Duckling" type feel in terms of where they are.
Right.
And there's another little plot point later on as well, which you could kind of say, sort of similar. But yeah, you got this Stefano character, but he bumps into, he sees one of his friends, doesn't he? And his friend, I think it's Antonio, and he's trying to tell him that he's discovered something really weird about this town.
Yeah.
And he says, "I'll meet you later." Sorry, Dick. Well.
Oh, go ahead, man. Sorry, that's my
bad. Yeah. So he says, "I'll meet you later," and he wants to take Stefano to a place where the house has laughing windows,
right?
Which is, sets up that whole title of the film. Yeah, I don't know if you want to go after that, Dick, or.
Oh yeah. So it's like when they're sitting there. Some woman just comes up to him. And she's like heavily flirtatious with him, Stefano.
Yeah.
And he's letting him know, like, she's about to sit down. His friend takes her seat. And then, like, while he's explaining what you were just saying, you see somebody else behind Stefano, kind of like everybody seems like they're listening in, paying attention to everything. It's so creepy. Like, the whole shit, the atmosphere of this film is, I don't know, man. I don't know if it could be matched, really.
It's on a different level to anything I've ever seen. In terms like giallo films as well, and not usually like this because they're more kind of tongue in cheek.
This is very unconventional. This is not
just played straight.
And I wouldn't say it's a straight giallo either, though. And I wouldn't put it in any kind of category either. It's kind of its own thing. It's a giallo, but I'm saying it's also its own thing. if that makes sense.
It's also gothic. It's very gothic
Yeah.
in its look, and like this fairy, almost like a fairy tale of this painter.
Right.
You know, so he's, you know, all that. But like Dirk said, it's like nothing you've ever seen before.
And I also got to stress that Pupi Avati, he didn't shoot films in English, so you're gonna have to read his films. That's you know, I know that's hard for a lot of people, but I promise you that you won't be disappointed if you watch The House with Laughing Windows.
Definitely right. So by the time this review is over, I think everyone will want to check this out, and by all means do so, because I think a majority of people will absolutely love this. But just to say about the really strange atmosphere, when he's restoring this painting in the church, you've got this young boy and this priest who are always around. And the priest is kind of off, but you can't tell why.
Yeah.
And this boy is just absolutely fucking batshit crazy, isn't he?
You're talking about the Lidio.
Yeah, Lidio. There's something not quite right.
He's at least a 20-year-old, I would say, right?
Yeah. I think he's in the actual script, I think he was done a little bit younger, maybe 17, 18.
Okay.
But yeah, the guy who plays him is fantastic, because he's completely batshit.
Yeah, because somebody dies at a point in the film, and there's a coffin there, and he's like talking about he put a mouse in the coffin with him so he wouldn't be lonely.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, shit.
He's on about cooking mice.
Like
cooking
mice.
them in this them alive in this like hot fucking water and
boil them alive. Yeah, they're the best that way, and all this shit. And you're like, damn, that dude's thrown off like a 3-neck goat, man. But
man, yeah. And you've also got Coppola, who's the driver that drives, Stefano up to the island.
This drunk cab driver.
Yeah. And I thought, he's a really strong character as well.
Yeah.
And he comes into play a little bit towards the end. Well, quite a lot to do with the storyline.
I'm going to read. So he starts, you know how these films go. He starts finding out other things that's going on about this painter, and he gets kicked out of the place where he's staying. So he has to stay in. He ends up having to stay in the house with laughing windows. Isn't that right? With the lady, the landlady.
Yeah, that's not the house with laughing windows. Okay. He stays in this big like gothic house, but then they go on to the house with the laughing windows later. And the house with the laughing windows is actually a place where Lagani, the painter, used to go.
Right.
But we'll come into all that because there's a really good backstory with the sisters and everything about that.
But you notice the landlady though. Didn't you get the spiral staircase vibes? Like when he?
No, I didn't pick up on that. No.
I'm saying like that whole in spiral staircase is an old lady. She's in her bed the whole time.
Yeah.
And then she don't get along with the maid.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
God! Now you say that, yeah.
She don't get along with Lydia.
I was thinking more of the woman who dies in Black Sabbath, Mario Bava.
Oh yeah.
And give me that vibe as well.
Right. Yeah.
But Stefano's getting all these creepy phone calls as well, warning them away from the painting. Don't do this paint. Don't restore this
creepy ass voice.
Yeah, man.
It's like stay away from the painting.
Yeah, typical giallo style. But I mean, this is done very effectively.
Right.
You got the old woman in the house where he's staying at. She's as creepy as can be. When she starts singing that Brazilian lullaby about flowers. A bit later on, man, that is fucking creepy. Like I was watching it and like the fucking hairs on my hands were standing up, like just man.
Right.
But he has a kind of love interest as well that comes into it.
Yeah, he falls in love, like love at first sight kind of thing,
And she is absolutely stunning, that actress. Absolutely stunning. I know Gizmo likes her as well. Yeah.
And she's all natural too, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, she's not really wearing makeup. None of that.
And she didn't do a lot of films, from what I can gather. She certainly didn't do no more giallo films.
She's only done like 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah, which
total.
is
Yeah,
amazing to me, because on the second film we're going to cover, which is not as good as, nowhere near as good as this one,
right.
I thought she was probably the best thing in it, or one of the best things in it. But
Let me
yeah, we'll come on to that.
let me catch the chat right quick.
Yeah.
I got Holland says Salo is very poopy movie. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've not seen it, but I've heard. Yeah.
Right. And Pat Master says, "Damn, I'm getting no bar to write comment. Had to jump in and jump. We're good. What? We're good. What? Subjective perspective collective. Yeah, man. What's going on, man?
Yeah, good to have you, man. Pat.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Everybody's saying, hey, let's see. Glad everyone is well enough to be here today. Yeah, for sure, man. It's always good on this side of the grass. For sure.
Yeah. It would have taken a lot for me not to do this stream, to be honest. I love this film so much.
Yeah, it's great, man. It really is. Let's see. Yeah, Gizmo's telling Holland Salo's a masterpiece. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people talking. I'm watching this while watch Surviving the Game. Oh, okay. Hell yeah. Gary Busey. It's funny that you married Gary Busey, because there's something that comes up a little later. But yeah, man. Hell yeah. Surviving the Game is epic. Yeah, man. Let's see. Got the mayor's in here. I still need to watch The House with the Laughing Windows. It's been on my YouTube watch later list for a while now. Oh man, I know you'll love it, Mayor. I know you'll love it for sure.
Good to have you on board, man.
Yeah.
It is on YouTube as well, which is good. So there's no excuse for anyone. Really.
Right. I mean, I got this one, man. Like I said, this is the only. I mean, this ain't the only DVD, but it's not. It don't have a Blu-ray. But it's good enough, man. This really is good enough until we get a Blu-ray or something.
Do you want to give the spoiler warning?
Yeah, I will. I did want to read something though, because he finds a recording. I'm not going to spoil the film, but I guess it's not really spoiling, because this does this at the very beginning of the film of what's on the recording. So I wrote what he says, and it says in this really creepy ass voice, it says, my colors, they run hot in my veins, so soft, my colors are soft like autumn, they are like fresh blood, they are smooth like syphilis, and they get into people's eyes, contaminating everyone. My colors, they flow through my veins, my Lord, and they get far, far away. Yes, they go far. One must die for them. Oh, my Lord, I must purge myself. Get them out. Purity, these are my colors. All my colors, son of a bitch. Here we come, my Lord. I feel death coming. He's dying. I need purity. I need to be pure. Keep him still. It's fucking so creepy as fuck.
It's just honestly chilling when you watch that in context with the film. It's absolutely chilling,
and it does it throughout the film. It's saying that throughout the film on the recordings and shit. But
absolutely, because he finds this room, doesn't he, where Lagani used to paint. I think it's upstairs in the house where he's staying with the old woman.
Mm-hmm.
And just that tape played back. But you've got, the foggy streets as well look great, adds to all the atmosphere.
And the grass, man. It's like the greenest fucking grass I think I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah. So you can imagine how that would pop on a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Or a 4K. Man.
Yeah. Even Blu-ray.
Please, if anyone
just Blu-ray.
If anyone is watching this, like Troy Howarth or anyone, in contact with some of these big companies, please try to get this film.
Yeah, there's no commentary that I know of on this film, which I'm kind of in a way, I don't know. I think it'd be good to have a commentary, but at the same time,
Troy Howarth, we want really,
right? Yeah. At the same time, though, I kind of like that this isn't over-explained. This one,
Yeah.
But
yeah, you've got to really dig to get stuff on this film, as me and Dirk have been finding out.
yeah,
But yeah, in terms of like, you've got the love interest, but you've also got this restaurateur's like wife keeps turning up in a veil, and she's very like mysterious. We don't know what she's to do with the plot, which we find out later on. Yeah, the whole thing with the woman as well. I think the creepy priest tells Stefano that this woman kind of is bedridden because she has some kind of venereal disease.
venereal disease, yeah.
Yeah, and there's like a backstory with like these two sisters and Legani's two sisters,
Right.
and they had to move to Brazil to try and find fame and fortune, which they
were
never
poor
did.
beggars. Their parents died, right?
Yeah,
If I remember right.
So he was going over to Brazil to try and make it as a painter, but obviously they came back because they couldn't do that.
Right. And this has also got in a way, it's got the lay diabolique,
Yeah.
It does have that in there as well. But like, so there's something from Avati's childhood. So he grew up in a town like this, a little country town. And there was his aunt told him about this. Hold on. I'm going to go ahead and hit the spoiler warning. So anybody who hadn't seen the film, I'm just warning you now. Like, I'm doing it, man. So here we go. Just to make it official, I'm going to go ahead. All right. Anybody hadn't seen the film, man? This is the last time I'm gonna say before I say what I'm about to say. So in his childhood, his aunt used to scare the shit out of him. And in this town, it's like real superstitious kind of town in these small towns. And his aunt would say that the woman priest is gonna get you. And she had long fingernails, and her creepy ass voice and shit. And anyway, basically to make them behave or whatever, they'd be like, the woman priest is going to come at night and get you. So that's where that shit like came from. Like, that's as far as I'm gonna go with it.
Right. No, I've got a little
anything.
bit as well that I can say at the end of
Yeah.
the film, to do with the background and the ideas.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this guy's been warning Stefano, that there's something not right with this painting.
Right.
He ends up dying as well, this guy, Antonio.
Yeah.
Because that's where the funeral is at, where they, the guy the boy puts like the mice in the coffin.
Right.
But they basically, the two lovers then, him and Francesca, they got this really amazing love scene, actually. Like, and I don't mean that, in terms of,
there's nothing like
titillation is,
all.
Yeah.
It's all like everything's covered up. Like, you could tell Avati's like really, he's not really with the trash kind of.
And there's a piano score in that scene that plays a couple of times throughout the film that is just fucking amazing. It just sets the whole like atmosphere of the film up. But yeah, he stumbles upon this old house. Like this house is like desolated as well. And that's where the title of the film comes in, The House with the Laughing Windows.
Right.
Coppola then tells him that the drunk driver, I think he's a taxi driver, but he's like drunk.
Yeah, he's like pissing off the pier, and
he tells him the whole backstory with the house. So basically, he tells him Legani had gone with his mother and sisters to Brazil to seek their fame and fortune. But then when he came back, they didn't have no money, so he kind of went to this little house where he would do his paintings.
Yeah.
Coppola actually met him when he was actually 7 or 8 years of age.
Right.
because he had to come in and paint his dying mother, and we see like a little flashback,
Yeah,
which is again really well done.
Yeah, it's got like this yellow kind of, glossed over on background. Like any kind of flashback, there's like this yellow filter kind of over, like, and I think that's really like a huge nod to giallo, because giallo means yellow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it works so well with the scenes, because we do get the odd flashback in this.
Right.
And there's a really kind of like a strong incest relationship that this painter was having with his sisters. Oh, Uncle Bill's in the house. Hey, man.
Yeah, you be in here. What's going on, man?
Nice.
But
yeah, there's like an incest type, storyline as well.
Right.
And shit just gets weirder and weirder.
So like, once again, like, I don't know if Uncle Bill's seen this, or anybody else that came in. I'm about to spoil some shit, like big time. I'm just letting everybody know.
I actually would love Uncle Bill to watch this when I do a proper review of it. Imam Wes, actually.
And Uncle Bill says, how are you guys? I just got home and wanted to hear some Pupi. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we all want some Pupi.
He's got another name, though, Giuseppe. Giuseppe.
Pupi is obviously just short for
Giuseppe.
Yeah.
But no, so I wanted to ask you, man. So I'm spoiling it, but at the same time, I'm not, because this film is kind of ambiguous in parts. Like toward the end, like we find out what's going on. Like Stefano, I guess I'm not going to spoil it all the way, but the two sisters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think, because their brother's, he's gone, he's died, but one of the sisters says that he possessed us.
Right.
But they drove him into madness because their incestuous ways, and the way that Coppola was explaining that they were like a couple of nymphos screwing their little brother.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, man. Like that's some batshit insane stuff, man. But
it's like you can take it certain, like a bunch of different ways. Really, you can see it.
UB's asking. This is a shameless release, man. It's only got a DVD.
I think this is Region 2 as well.
Yeah, this is a shameless. I got this one for like $12 off eBay.
I mean, that's the best $12 you've ever spent. But this is not the version to go for. But if you can get it a bit cheaper, get this one. It's Nova Pictures, I think.
Right.
I think it's a Region 2 though.
Okay. Yeah, it's great though. You can find it on YouTube as well, though. I believe. I think that's what Mayor was saying. I think it's on YouTube. But
so it's how far we're gonna go now with what we're.
That's what I was gonna ask you though. Like, so the sisters.
I think we can pretty much go quite far with it. We won't give the complete ending away, but
no. But I just wondered, like, do you think that he possessed them? Because that whole thing I read earlier, is that him speaking, or is that him speaking through them? Like, did he possess them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And is he still possessed both of them? Because he's gone, he's dead.
Right, it's going to be hard to say this without giving it away.
Right.
So I think you're right with the first thing you said. Like, they just drive this guy insane with the incest. With, I think we can say the killings, because they do happen. We do see it early on in the film, like the first scene almost.
Yeah.
And I think there's definitely some sort of like, they're nuts, basically, these two sisters.
You don't think there's a supernatural element, though? Because you see wind.
That could be, yeah.
You see wind blowing candles out and shit. You see the shutters, like the house with the laughing windows, right? The shutters
fluttered.
You see shutters throughout the film when you're watching. it's like the shutters open, like somebody's looking out and shit. Like it's some creepy.
And he
shit.
does it like Pupi Avati does that perfectly to where he doesn't tell you the whole story. Yeah, very possibly there could be like supernatural to do with the two sisters, without a shadow of a doubt, or the whole reveal of Lagani later on in the film as well is kind of supernatural in a way.
Yeah.
Because Coppola leads him out to this house and they find all these bones.
Right.
And then when the police come, they don't find nothing, even though the bones are still there. Because the police are kind of, all this like town are kind of don't want nothing to do with this, backstory, and they kind of just bury their head in the sand.
Right. Yeah, nobody helps. Nobody helps.
Nobody helps at all.
Yeah.
Francisca ends up, getting raped by the young boy. I say young boy, the young man.
Well, that's something else I was going to bring up. That scene where he's attacking her, and then in the middle of the attack, like you don't see anything really. Like you don't show any nudity or nothing.
No.
But then the scene just cuts, and then it goes back to Stefano, and you're like, holy shit, man! Like what happened?
It makes it even
and
more
it makes
effective.
you more anxious.
Yeah.
Like what's happening with her?
Right.
Like it fucking does it so well. And
it's like less is more type thing. You're saying, yeah,
right?
It's perfection. The way,
not seeing
rape scenes are hard to like film anyway, but the
right.
way he does it is such a way. There's no titillation at all, man. It's done. It's played completely straight. But that cutaway, like you said, is amazing.
It fucks you up because you don't know what's taking place with her. Because you're like they've developed her very well. Like
right, yeah, absolutely. Because you're locked in now. Because you're seeing everything through Stefano's eyes, and you're completely locked in this film. Once you get to this point,
you're damn near Stefano.
Yeah,
when you're watching the movie, like they really put you there. It's crazy.
And then, kind of when he does find out what's happened to her as well, I think we can say we said spoilers, didn't we? We were going to say spoilers.
Yeah.
But she's hung up in this room where Lagani used to paint, and he comes across her, and she's obviously dead. He tries to inform the police and all that, and then when they get there, she's gone, like just completely disappeared. Right. Man, it just creeps you out. It just keeps you guessing as well, like Dirk said, absolutely guessing right to the final fucking shot of this.
And I'm still I still got questions. There's still things that are unanswered, like with this film. So
I think Pupi Avati was going for because if you mess with something, so if you go to some town or you mess with something you're not supposed to be there, it will come back and fucking bite you in the ass. Like it's basically what he was trying to go for. All these characters are dying, who go against this type, this town.
But also there's this whole sacrifice thing too.
Yeah. There's so much,
And then like, so from what he was saying, like this is how he grew up, like in little towns like this, like in where he grew up was a lot like this, superstitious as hell, not all to this degree, I'm sure, but you know what I mean. Like,
but little folk tales and gothic tales and all that come into play. Coming on towards the end, he gets like a phone call recording of Francisca saying she's all right and come and meet him and all that. So he's basically led to where he's got to go to this place now to try and find Francesca. What he sees there is beyond belief, man, with the Lidio character. He's basically being hung up and stabbed by these sisters. I mean, it's the creepiest shit you'll ever see.
They're all
and one woman is the fucking invalid woman from earlier. So you're like, shit. And she's got this really creepy face, would you say?
Oh yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. They look like they're possessed. And
they look kind of incestuous as well. I know they're supposed to be. But they kind of look like they're the product of incest.
Like inbred.
Yeah. It's just.
But and you know how they're wearing all white too? And like that one scene where, because throughout the film, Stefano keeps hearing somebody walking behind him.
Yeah.
And somebody's, you know, it's got that fucking shit, that vibe. And they're
Right.
all in white, but you know the one scene, like out the corner of his eye, you see something white go by?
Yeah.
I swear that shit remind me of Exorcist 3, man. Like,
oh god, man, I didn't even think of that as well. Yeah.
I swear it
You
did,
don't
man.
know what
Like,
maybe, you know, William Peter Blatty
there's
maybe
no
have seen
telling,
it.
man.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
You just do not know. But
No
yeah,
telling.
that's like really creepy. Yeah, so Stefano then he's way in too deep now, and I guess I don't know. You're gonna give away the whole ending? Should we just leave the ending?
I'm not giving it all away.
Yeah.
But I will say, even if I did, there's still some questions, man. That's one of them kind of
right.
movies. It's a masterpiece in my opinion. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10, man. But if you can, like, I guess, can you talk to the chat for a minute? I'm gonna take a quick break, real quick. But
So, Uncle Bill, how are you guys? I've just got home, wanting to hear you. Oh yeah, I think we said that. Don't know about Shameless DVD, but all the Shameless Blu-rays I've got on with Region 3. It's on YouTube, man. If you get a chance, watch it first. But I'll guarantee you will probably want to buy it after. But the only way to buy this at the moment is really like eBay. And I mean, it can be quite pricey. Dirk got it for 12, like 17 shipped in the US, which is like a steal, really. But yeah, I mean, this has got probably the creepiest, best ending I've ever seen in a giallo film, possibly in a film, full stop. I don't think I'm overpraising it by saying that. Your jaw will hit the floor when you see the conclusion of this film. I want to say, but I'm not going to. But it's just incredible. It's just incredible, the actual ending to this. So yeah, I'll wait for Dirk to come back, and then we'll go through some of the, you know, notes I've got on the actual making of the film and all that. I would say, again, not underselling this, I would put this in my top 20 films of all time. Possibly, would I put it giallo-wise? It's easily top 3. Possibly high, possibly higher. Would you say, Dirk?
what's that?
I said I'd put this in my top 20 films of all time, but giallo-wise, in my top 3, I think. I don't think I'm undersaying it as well.
Yeah, it's a strong. I'd put it definitely in my top 5 gialli, probably, for sure. This is a 10 out of 10 film, in my opinion.
It's gone from a 9 to a 10 for me.
Yeah.
And I've always loved this film anyway.
Right.
But watching it twice, I watched it twice in a row as well, because I always do that for these. I have got some stuff, you know, some notes and stuff about the film.
Okay.
So I won't say all of them, but I'll just go through some. So this film grossed 722 million lira, which at the time is a pretty successful film.
Yeah, because it was only made for like what, 149?
Right. Yeah. So it's Avati's brothers. Him and his brother made this company. This was their first film, so this was really successful from the off.
Because this is a low budget film. Like the cinematography, the way it's shot, like the landscapes, the use of light and dark. Pupi Avati's like craft. He's honing in his craft.
He's mastered it. Yeah.
You see these crazy angles he's using, like the zoom and the like that down at the bottom of the screen. That dark scene. Holy shit, man!
I've never seen a film that does the shadows and light so well as this. Like it's up there, like Argento. You could say does it to a great degree. Yeah, Martino would be another. Actually, would be more of a comparison rather than Argento. But like Dirk said, it's a shot in 5 weeks in April and May 1976 on like a really low budget. But they gather use out of like the countryside, as Dirk said. Francesca Marciano's role was originally made for Marion Geller Mulatto, who was a very much an award-winning and big theatre star in Italy. She only did one kind of giallo film of note, which was The Cat from 1977.
Yeah.
Avati says this on the film. The movie is certainly gothic, or at least it is in tune with my idea of a gothic tale. It must have a realistic beginning. Then a story progressively takes on aspects that sometimes have a bearing with the probable. And ultimately, one ends up considering plausible what is absolutely implausible. And if you take that comment on board, I know it seems a bit, but I mean, it makes complete sense, like when you reread it back. And Dirk said, yeah, the idea for the film came from a story of that he heard as a child.
Yeah.
This is a different one. This was about the exhumation of the skeleton of a priest in a little village of Sasso Marconi, which resulted in a shocking discovery. Even though the final extraordinary twist owes in part to George Bernardo's 1939 novel *The Crime*.
Okay.
Bear with me.
But yeah, I think he mentioned that, and that's where his aunt came up with the idea.
So it's basically all different stories put together, because he also says he recalled him, his brother, and a few friends were in this small train station in the Palestine area. They were waiting on this train. When it arrived, this little man with white hair, elegantly dressed, got off. Instead of walking away, he dragged his feet, came forward with this little purse in his hand. His name was Boccaccini, and he spoke in a very thin voice. In fact, he said he was really like a movie character.
Mm-hmm.
They drove him to this house in the middle of nowhere, this dilapidated house in the middle of nowhere. And on entering the house, Avati said him and his friends and his brother were absolutely paralyzed with fear. They just did, and that kind of was another like aspect of why he wrote this.
Oh shit! Okay.
And in fact, it's the house where Stefano moves into with the old woman. That was the actual fucking house, which is amazing.
Oh shit! That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I got some other stuff. If I don't want to bore people. An early draft of the script was called Blood Relation.
Mm-hmm.
It dated back to the early 70s. Avati took the script. He made several changes to the main characters and the story. So yeah, I would imagine it was completely different, obviously. I just looked through a few now. I'm not going to say everything. I said about the Capricci. I still can't say it. Calipicchio was originally cast with the deep red. I said that. But I could say a little bit about the ending that Avati says. Again, spoiler alert.
Well, hold on.
Go on.
I'll do it. I'm going to do it.
Nice. So this is what Pupi Avati said about the ending. So the arrival of the police was not in the script. We added the final shot. With the hand leaning on the tree, that's my hand, incidentally. Because the distributors were afraid that the ending would be too negative. They wanted there to be hope and that someone might save Stefano, but actually Stefano dies. I mean, that fucking sums it up for me.
I mean,
absolutely sums the film up for me.
Yeah. I mean, that's the vibe I got from it anyway.
He explains it, which is great, I think, because if you're watching it, you didn't know that. You kind of like put your own interpretation of that in your head. But it's good because I think he's still alive, isn't he, Dirk? Avati's still alive.
Yeah. He's 85.
Yeah. So
he's
it's
85.
good that we can get these interviews still and his take, because obviously a lot of the Fulci stuff's lost in it, with how he, spoke about films and different reasonings behind his films. But I hope everyone enjoyed that kind of review and little bit.
Man. Hopefully we did House with the Laughing Windows justice, man.
Let us know if you watch this and you want to go and watch the film now. I hope we give everyone that impression.
I still think there's some big time ambiguity though like with the sisters and the brother. Like
yeah,
maybe he wasn't the the bad one. Like
no, you're right. You're
but
right.
then maybe he after his death he kind of got revenge.
Yeah, he gives you enough. He gives you enough to form your own opinion.
Right.
But that opinion with the supernatural elements can lead you to different conclusions, basically. But I mean, let me know if any of you guys are itching to see this now, because I hope you do. I really do.
And the mayor says, did I read that already?
I read the mayor's last. I read him about. I don't know about Shameless DVD. I read that one out when he was.
For some reason, my original comment about the 4K disappeared. At least on my end, it did.
Well, that's a good point, because why the hell isn't there a Blu-ray or 4K of this?
The license.
This would
something to do with the license. But yeah, it needs it. It needs to happen, and I'm sure it will. I'm sure there's people that love this movie just as much as we do. And
I wish I'd have asked Troy now last week.
Yeah.
I wish I'd just got that one question in.
Right.
Because it's criminal why it's not out. If it is a rights issue, hopefully they can get their act together with one of these big companies. Yeah. I would prefer. What would you prefer to do it, Dirk? Company wise,
I would be good. Arrow.
I would say Arrow would be my number one, because with the next 88 films, I think have brought out a few Pupi Avati films. But
88 could do it. That'd be fine too. But
I like 88, but I don't think they would do the best job.
Arrow always seems to pack tons of features and the packaging and everything's pretty.
Severin would be another one who could do it properly. It would be obviously pricey, but I think I would like money would be no object for me on this one.
Yeah,
it's like the Four Flies. Like I would just pop down like $100 easy. But glad we hopefully we done it justice.
Yeah, man.
I think we did. I think we covered everything we could.
Yeah, I just wanted to share a little message with everybody right quick, because we did win horror YouTuber of the month for the month of March. So I was just gonna play a little something right quick.
Some are saying that you're bipolar.
Wow, what does that mean? What's the cure? Medicine? I'm winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
I'm an angel in an earth suit.
I am a winner. I'm the angel of silk. Let me take you inside, and you'll feel like you're 5,000 miles past heaven. Come with me.
Shit.
Yeah, and that's all tongue-in-cheek, mine about winning. I know we're just having a laugh, basically.
Yeah, just cutting up, man.
Yeah, that's great, man. That clip. I always love that winning clip, Gialli-An, when it first come out, like pissing.
I had to add Busey in there too.
Yeah. The mayor said, his comments not coming through. I think he just did message me as well.
That's weird.
He's been on about it or something on a forum.
I don't know. Yeah.
I got the flash up of the message, but I obviously can't.
Okay. Well, I think we're gonna cover this one, man. But I know you got way more than I do. Really, we can go through the film.
And Gizmo actually likes this one, believe it or not.
Yeah. But so this is the year after Pupi Avati's All Deceased Except the Dead. This is a giallo comedy of all damn things. But it's also, I wouldn't say it's just strictly a giallo. It's like kind of a gothic mix in there. And that's something else about with him, with this director, you can't really classify his films he was big because people were referring to him as the Roman Polanski of Po Valley, and he didn't like that shit at all. He's so right after the year after House with the Laughing Windows, he does a spoof. So this is the scary movie for for giallo. So
the 70s version of
except
scary
not.
movie.
I don't know, man. We're gonna get into it. I'm not that big of a fan of it. It's okay.
This
but,
one was fucking rough first time.
It is, man. It's like torture, damn it. And it's all. I don't know. The comedy just don't work. Like it's kind of like it's aiming for like Mel Brooks type comedy humor, but a lot of that shit didn't land for me, man. It was pretty bad.
Oh god, yeah. We'll come on to that now. Yeah.
So this come out in 1977. Like I said, the year after. He just sent me something. What is that? No. Are we live? We're still live, right?
I can see you on my screen. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you want to check? Do you want me to check? It says live. It says live.
Yeah, I mean, it says live. I think Mayor just sent me another message, though.
Oh, he might be on about the House of Laughing Windows.
Let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, we're live. We're live.
Okay. He's sending me something about the Blu-ray. Okay. Yeah. All right. I was just making sure, like, I didn't know what the hell's going on. but yeah, I guess I'll give a brief synopsis on this one. So only one will remain. Who knows how? Through those 9 dead gathered in a cemetery, you will discover the treasure and solve the mystery. So there's this guy, Dante. He's a book salesman. He arrives at this recently deceased Marquis Zanetti's castle to try to get, he's trying to sell some books about their family. And there's like a prophecy in the book that says that after 9 family members of the Zanetti family die, a treasure will be left for one. So it's kind of like an Agatha Christie 10 Little Indians, but done like scary movie. like
a giallo mixed with scary movie, basically.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
It's rough, man. So yeah, we'll go through some of it. So we got the Marquis is dying. This dwarf, there's tons of dwarf jokes in there. Really offensive dwarf jokes.
You got a couple of dwarfs in there, or little people, or
there's if you're a dwarf, I would imagine you'd be highly offended with this.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because I've seen some interviews with like some smaller people, and they're kind of pissed off. But that's a whole nother story. I ain't gonna go into that.
Yeah, but he does they're
pissed off about like not getting work now because they're everything's so PC and shit. Regular sized people are getting.
But in this, he just takes the fucking complete piss out of dwarfs. And it's
it really does.
as well.
Yeah. And this is like set in the 20s, right? I'm assuming this is like
this is set at the same time as House of Laughing Windows.
In the 50s?
Yeah, just after the World War II, so like the 40s immediately.
Oh, okay, because old girl looks dressed up like Francesca's in this one as well.
Yeah,
and she looks like she's dressed up like straight out of the 20s.
Yeah, it does have that. Yeah, but I did read. Yeah, it is actually set straight after the World War II period. But yeah, you've got this Marquez or whatever. He's dying. And the family just don't seem to give a shit, do they? Like the head of the family is kind of dying. But yeah, I don't know how to go about this one because you've got Dante arrives, this bookseller.
He's kind of like
book buyer, sorry.
On. He reminds me of like Professor Clouseau or something.
It's like a real, like an old.
How you say his name from Pink Panther? Like I get some of those Pink Panther vibes a little bit.
Peter Sellers. I'm
talking about Professor Clouseau. Is it Clouseau from Pink
Oh,
Panther?
Clouseau. Yeah. So this guy is just, how can you put it? It's just like he was cast in this role because he was ugly, basically. Pupi Avati has gone on record to say that. They tried to find the ugliest man they could. Just
Oh,
to
really?
like put him.
I've seen that he said somebody his crooked nose and his bug eyes. And
they basically went out and scoured Italy for the ugliest man.
Yeah.
And ended up with this guy.
But he said that changed. Yeah, I saw him talking about that. That changed dramatically because he said he could see the depth and range of the character of the actor, how much he had, you know.
As a comedy actor, he is really good.
Yeah.
And you can imagine him in a lot of these comedies back in the 70s that would have done
He's
really
in some
well.
sleaze shit too. Like, so he didn't want to really be at first he was hesitant, right? Because he didn't want to be associated with like sleazy cinema or whatever.
Right.
I tell you, he's kind of a but people gotta understand Avati's like really a devout Catholic, you know.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I'm gonna quit talking about Avati. Go ahead, man.
No, so you've got this really weird like mashup of comedy, giallo, gothic.
Mm-hmm.
You've got this one character, he goes to stay with his family. You've got this incredibly gorgeous girl falls in love with his like lead character, the ugly man, I should say, which is so preposterous. I mean, I guess that's what they were going for. That was the in joke, because he's ugly and she's beautiful. And you've got all these kind of deaths going on in the house. Like you say, people are getting killed one by one.
Yeah.
So where bloody. They get down to like 9, innit? Like Dirk.
I mean, right out the gate. And then you got this one guy like painting his fingernails. And so for at the time, you know, that was like, you know, it probably wouldn't fly today. But for at the time, you know, but he gets killed right away. And it's bloody as shit. Like, there's some bloody kills in this damn movie.
Yeah.
It's bloodier than House with Laughing Windows. It's just the comedy's just kind of throws it off.
The kills are played pretty much straight, I would say, and they are really effective. The actual scene, like the Gothic house and all that stuff, is amazing, I think.
Yeah, every way it's shot, the big castle and the fog and shit outside.
But
looks great.
I guess it's like what Dirk said, he didn't want to stereotype himself in the genre, like doing House of Laughing Windows, which is arguably a giallo, but some people would argue. But he just wanted to do something completely different. But if he'd have kept it and stayed, like, you know, straight, I think this film would have been decent. But the comedy, man, the death scenes are great, like you said. You've got the stuff with the hairdryer going off. Like, really funny, you know, idea, but it was done quite effectively.
Yeah, the head guy, the not the head guy, but I guess he's like a private investigator or detective.
Yeah.
He is like the dumbest. I think he's the dumbest character I've ever seen. Like
and
really?
That's Coppola from House with Laughing Windows, the same actor. Yeah.
So that's damn. Who would he be? He's Martini, right?
Yeah.
Martini, Gianni Cavina. But
yeah, like I say, I don't know. Go about saying, like, I'm not going to go too in depth with this.
I'm not either, man. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'll give you my rating now, man. Like, I'll probably give it, because the way it's shot and everything, I got to give it probably a 4 out of 10.
So, okay. So, okay.
Just because the way it's shot and the actual story, like, is pretty good. Like, I would say that. Like, the comedy just really pulls me out of the film. I don't know. So,
when I first watched this, it was a 4. And I mean, I was being generous, I thought.
Yeah.
But because if I do a review, I was telling Dirk, of a film, I'll always watch it twice.
Yeah.
And I went back and rewatched it again just to write notes upon it. And it kind of went up to a 5 because the second time round, I was kind of seeing the best, what I could see in the film rather than the negative.
Yeah.
And I mean, a 5, I would say, is probably a little too high for most people.
Right.
But talking of a few of the scenes, like you've got I thought was quite some of the comedy was okay, but not much. Like when the killer washes the black gloves in the sink and the blood comes off.
Yeah.
Little touches like that, were pretty good. But they're few and far
and the
between.
look of the killer is great.
Oh god, yeah, that black, hat and
just all black, just blacked out. I mean,
right, yeah,
all that shit's great. The castle, yeah. I don't know how in depth we can go with it, really, though, because it's not. It's like completely night and day, and I think that's what Avati was doing, man. Like he wanted to get away from,
Yeah, I'll say to the listeners, right, and I'll kind of put in context what this film is. There's a scene in this film where a man who is constantly masturbating all the time is wired to a machine because they can't stop him from masturbating.
Right.
Has his own personal nurse that keeps an eye on him.
Yeah.
And that scene is so hilarious because, spoiler, he dies, but it's done in such a way that is so funny. I won't say how, but it's just done so funny.
It was funny.
But I mean that's what you're dealing with. Some guy who's masturbating all the time in this film. It's kind of that type of humor.
Yeah. And it's, like I said, it's a lot like Mel Brooks in a way. I think that's kind of what they're going for. The Martini character, though, nobody's that fucking stupid. I mean, come on.
No, it's a comedy character times 100, I would say.
It's way
just
too
off the wall, man.
slapstick, almost, but.
And yeah, politically correct, this film is not.
No. No.
Because I had to watching it, I felt sorry for fucking dwarves who end up watching this because it just completely exploits them, for comedy reasons, and because they even say the one dwarf who saw me in House with the Laughing Windows, they even say he's like some child prodigy, and that's kind of the joke because he's a dwarf, which is
right.
Like, oh man, yeah, I know, and you're like, shit, they really go that far with this.
Now let me catch.
Yeah, I don't know if you got anything. I haven't got much else to say, to be honest.
I'm gonna catch the chat right quick. Wild Wrangler's in here. What's going on, man?
Hey, man.
Everybody's saying I'm on. Psycho Manus, what's going on? He's saying he's letting us know we're live. Mayor, appreciate it. Yeah, and the mayor says, "Can you imagine if Mel Brooks had done a takeoff on Giallo?" Well, I guess you could say that high anxiety kind of comes close to him doing a Giallo comedy. I remember High Anxiety. I remember that title anyway. I just don't remember the film.
Right, yeah, I've not seen it, but yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like interesting to me.
But yeah, man, I don't really have a whole. I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't have a whole lot else to say about this film, man.
I've got a few things that are probably even more interesting than the actual fucking film itself, to be honest.
Right. Now, I will say the commentary is excellent. It's got Troy Howarth, Nathaniel Thompson.
I didn't get to see that. Yeah, listen to that one.
It's Nathaniel Thompson, ain't it? I believe.
Yeah. They are excellent, all three of those guys.
Yeah, it's a pretty good commentary. They're kind of going through about Avati. Then they start mentioning like Mario Bava's. You could say Bay of Blood is kind of a satire in a way, but not to the level of this slapstick. It's not.
No, you can even say
$5 for an August Moon,
right? Yeah,
but not to this level of insanity. Like,
yeah, you can even say that where they keep getting the dead bodies and they keep putting them on this bed.
Yeah,
it's kind of Bava-esque. That did remind me a little bit of like $5 and that. But yeah, I got a few little things. It's all so its domestic gross of this one was 279 million lira, which would have been kind of a flop, I guess. Avati said, I think Dirk may have said this earlier, but I'll just say it again. I was a bit nervous because I'd been labeled as the Polanski of the Po Valley, and I didn't like this definition. I did not want to be imprisoned in the genre for the rest of my career. As it always happens with me, I tried to get out of it and distance myself through a different proposal that nonetheless stayed fully in the genre. Again, he says it like, do you know what I mean? He's got away with words.
But he does come back to something similar, like, you know, like I said, next time we're gonna have to cover Zetter.
Yeah. I've not seen it, but I've always wanted to.
Or I don't know if it was called this in the UK, but in America it was called Revenge of the Dead.
Right, yeah. I've seen the poster of that. Because I think, actually, that was one of the first posters Dead Pit had for the cover of that Revenge of the Dead version.
Okay.
Was one of early Dead Pit's, like, kind of, you know, cover arts that they used.
Cool.
So, you've got Michelle Mirabella. She was actually the unfortunate librarian in The Beyond, Fulci. She stars in this. The Buster role.
Oh yeah, guy. He was in The Beyond. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was originally meant for Luigi Montefiore.
Yeah, George Eastman.
Yeah. Which is, how do you think that would have played out? That would have been fun.
That would have been insanity, dude.
Yeah.
George Eastman coming on a horse and acting like some kind of Italian cowboy or whatever.
That I would love to. I would fucking pay money to see that film. So the lead guy, the ugly guy, Carlo Della Piane, he was so ugly that they used to call him the little monkey.
Shit, man.
I know you couldn't do that today, man.
No,
that'd be classed as bullying, I think, today.
But I mean, people were a little tougher back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, they had to be.
I just got another few little things. Avati said, where the script is signed by several people, most of the ideas were his. We did not follow a real method. Simply, we were trying to do egg to each other on all the little comedy like skits to where they became almost absurd territory. The more we went, the more bizarre we got, which is evident in the film. And he said it was fun. It was shot on a low budget on the hills near Bologna and Modena in the cold winter of 1976 with a crew that operated in a real castle. So there was this fake medieval manor, but in it, actually it was built in the early 20th century, which belonged to like this crazy old man who used to own like this funeral parlor in Bologna. So
and it's also shot close to where they shot House with the Laughing Windows. Right.
Yeah. I would imagine it's probably the same region of Italy.
Amelia, North Italy.
Right? Yeah, Romaglia, something like that. But yeah, I would highly say to people to go carefully.
It's worth it for
tread carefully with this one.
Like this one here, if you're going to buy this, it's worth it for the commentary. It's worth it if you want to see a giallo spoof film to have in your collection.
Yeah.
Now the way it opens, like I was excited. I was like, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that first shot is amazing.
The first shot, I mean, it's like the all black killer.
Yeah.
And it's got the creepy ass voice, and it's man, I was really excited, but unfortunately we didn't get that movie too much. But
no, and it does feel like 3 hours the first time you watch it as well.
It does, man. It's almost like torture, but it's great with the commentary. I'll say that, man. So
there you go. I'm a giallo completist as well, so I'll probably keep it. Definitely check out that commentary.
I won't get rid of it, even though I don't have the slip. I'll keep it, you know, because it still plays just fine without the slip.
I managed to get a slip. Funny enough.
Right, I know. Yeah, that's why I was saying that.
But yeah, I mean, just go into it carefully. I don't think I've seen this one on YouTube or anything, or if it is, it's probably
on YouTube. It's on YouTube. I tried to watch it.
Is there a bad version of it though?
No, it's not a bad version. It just don't have subtitles. So
Oh, there you go. You've been warned.
You got to know how to. You got to know Italian, basically.
Right. Yeah. So just like I say, definitely boot down, down thumbs for me.
Right. I know. I keep hearing people. They got ways to get subtitles through their computers and shit. So.
Don't they do auto-generated ones?
They do, and it's really really small. I was trying to see it on my phone though. I couldn't see it.
I have so many files in my collection where some of these really rare giallo films that got no subs at all.
Right.
And I can't keep holding out that fans, because some fans, if you check every so often, some fans will put subs up for certain films. The one in case as well is so Pupi Avati did a 1980 giallo with a I think it's called Deliti. Anyway, it's got like a Italian title. It was made for TV. It's a giallo film, but I can't find subs for it anywhere. But I wouldn't mind doing it at some point, even without the subs, because I think it's like an hour long, 55 minutes long. So I think it might be interesting to do next time, we do Avati. Maybe shoehorn it into the stream in some way, because technically it's a giallo. So
yeah, it is. It is a giallo. Yeah.
Gizmo does like it. Yeah.
Let's see. Psycho Manus says, "What Blu-ray can play without slipcover? Mind blown." Yeah, man, it's pretty amazing. Let's see. Gizmo says Gizmo likes it. Actually, it is a film that talks with more than one layer. You have the comedy part, the meta film.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I wish I could see it. I wish I did like it. To be honest, I could see it.
Yeah, it don't work for me personally.
Just don't work. No.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like everything else though, it's cool. Like the way it looks, but yeah, the comedy just don't land for me.
It does for Gizmo though, because I was just reading this comment now.
Yeah, it says, and the comedy is 100% Italian style comedy. If you know Bud Spencer, Terrence Hill stuff, this is hitting the boxes. I like the film a lot. Yes, it was finally something different in the giallo realm.
Right, you've got to give him that. He did.
Yeah,
he did do something
it's different. It's definitely different. And Avati, I think that's what he was always trying to do, was doing something different. He didn't want to be in put into a box category kind of deal.
So he's like Avati is definitely in my top 10 Italian directors of all time, just for the first film, just for Hazel Laughing Windows. He automatically just goes straight on the fucking top 10 for me. Yeah, I don't know so much about the dramas, but I wouldn't mind seeing some of his other stuff that touch upon the horror, even if it's just touches upon it. Because he's done a lot of dramas, I think, as well, like Gizmo was saying. So maybe one or two of them might fit this stream,
yeah,
maybe.
So I would look. Yeah, there's a few that I want to check out. It's Blood Relations, 1968.
Okay, yeah.
The Mazurka of the Baron. I want to check that one out. The Mazurka of the Baron and the Saint and the Early Fig Tree. Thomas and the Bewitched, 1969. And then he said his career took a turning point. He did a TV series called Jazz Band, because this dude's like obsessed with jazz, Avati. But he said that's where his career shot off in 1978 when he did that TV series.
Because I think he went straight into the TV then, straight after, didn't he? A lot of his stuff was TV.
Yeah, he's got 40, like I said, 40 films and TV projects. So,
man, that's prolific then, really.
Yeah, and he's pretty successful, man. But let's see. Wild Wrangler says wacky nonsense. Yeah, pretty much. Where can you find House with the Laughing Windows? What release do you have? I have
So
I have the Shameless release, and you can get this on eBay for a pretty decent price. I think I've seen him.
Get Dirk's version because it's got an interview. This one's like bare bones.
Yeah, this one's got it's got a 20-minute interview with Avati, and then it's got some trailer. That's pretty much it. But it's a pretty decent transfer for a DVD, man. Like
I love the cover of that Shameless one as well.
It looked good. It looked really good. But,
I don't know whether this is going to come out anytime soon. To be honest, I know Dirk said it might, but
I'm hoping it will.
I'm hoping, but I don't think it will. I think it would have been done by now. I think there's definitely some. Yeah. Maybe it sounds awful to say, but maybe with the when Pupi Avati eventually passes, maybe they can work something out then. That's generally how sometimes it works. But Wrangler, you can find it on YouTube as well.
Okay.
And yeah, just go in like watch it in complete darkness as well.
Yeah. Yeah, watch it like it's best like to be alone in the dark is way more effective. Like because you're gonna have to read. You got to read it. But
I find I don't know about you, but I find it's one of the easiest readable films.
It really is.
Like the subs weren't like too fast or weren't overcomplicated.
No. And there's a lot of shots that there's no dialogue too.
Yeah. So it's very light on dialogue as well, which is definitely a plus.
And I just wanted to show a few things. I guess we'll get into that now.
Yeah, man.
So the mayor told me about this, man, about these two. So I finally got them in. Lamora.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think these are like uncut versions. I've never seen this one, but
I've heard of it. I've never seen it. That's a 70s film, I think.
Yeah. So these are a couple bootlegs, by the way. And then I got the Devils. This is like the super uncut version of the Devil.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But
that's one Dead Pit did fairly recently. They did a commentary.
Ken Russell film. Got those in. I don't know if I showed this or not, but I got that in. Damien Rugna.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I don't think you showed that before.
I think Gizmo told me that this one. I think he liked this one better than
a lot of people are saying that. But they're saying the two of them are great, but they slightly prefer that one.
When Evil Lurks.
Yeah.
And then got this. This was like $5. I think it's a documentary.
Okay.
The YouTube effect. So I want to check that shit out.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. $5, so I could pass it up. And then I got my damn Spanish Bloodbath.
No, I'm itching to get into that one. And I've not even opened Forgotten Gialli 6 yet.
Right.
But they are coming like in the next 3 weeks, would you say, Dirk?
Yeah.
Reviews for them are coming.
Yep.
Hopefully get Gizmo as well on board.
And then finally, everybody's been talking about it. We're doing Avati anyway. So I bought this from Pop's Movie Dungeon.
Oh, shit.
That finally came in.
I've heard so many stories about that film.
It's
I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it at one point.
It's a Pupi film.
Just to fucking see what it's about.
But kind of creepy looking shit, you know.
Yeah, lots of Pupi in that one.
Yeah, and Pupi helped write it. Pupi Avati helped.
I know that's incredible when you think about it. I would definitely watch it though.
Pupi on Pupi.
Pupi on Pupi.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of things, but they're not films.
Yeah, that's fine.
To show. So I've got the latest edition of the Dark Side magazine. It's a UK magazine. It's kind of like retro.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you why I bought it. I'll show you why I bought this one. Bear with me. So this has a 5-page spread on Madman.
Hell yeah.
Let me just show you the others quickly. And I mean it. I love this magazine. I think you can get it in America in certain places.
What's the name of the magazine?
The Dark Side. I've recently resubbed to them. I have. So there's the cover. I'd put the cover up again.
Yeah,
and what you'll get with these is a lot of Euro stuff, a lot
Yeah.
of British stuff as
Got
well.
some Phantom of the Opera, Lon Chaney on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you love all older stuff,
Yeah.
I did
Shit,
get
yeah.
this one as well in, which has got a couple of things of note, which I'll show you in a minute. Scream, the new edition.
Mm.
This is almost sold out, but I think you can get it in America. Let me
Show
show
it
you
again.
why.
Very quick.
Yep.
A Tar Man.
Oh, there's tons of stuff. Like this is
Yeah.
littered with good stuff, but I'll just show you two of the things that I got it for. There's the big thing on Possession, Sam Neill, which I know Dirk would probably like.
Hell yeah, man. It's a great film.
Return
Great.
of the Living Dead. But yeah, bear with me, honestly, guys. Just bear with me. Yeah. So we've got an interview with Sergio Martino.
Shit, yeah. That's
And
worth
it's
it
like
alone.
5 fucking pages as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's worth it, yeah, alone. But there is one more I want to show. Oh no, I tell a lie. It's 6 pages. Let me show the cover art of the last page. The last pages. I mean, it's quality writing. These are great for if you want to have a toilet break and you want to like read through something.
Right.
Yeah. One last thing.
That's what the old people used to do, right? They had a bunch of magazines by the toilet.
I still do it. But I'm old anyway. But look at that. House by the Cemetery, a Sylvia Colatina interview.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which Dead Pit did, funny enough.
Right. Right.
And this is like 5 pages as well, man. So just for that alone is worth, the 2 articles alone is worth the money for me. But yeah, I thought I'd show something off different. I'm trying to cut down buying too many physical releases. But I'll get all the good ones I need. I will still get, But yeah. And I got another one coming through as well, Dark Side, from 2 months ago. That's got all the early giallo, like the films that inspired all the early giallo films. So, I can show that off on the next stream, hopefully.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, man. I was just gonna tell everybody not to forget to.
Careful, it's slippery. No, don't worry, Franz.
That is fucking great.
Yeah.
Every time I say that, but it is.
Right.
But yeah, go vote as well on Horror YouTube of the Month.
Right.
The 4 nominations are up in an earlier video we did.
Right.
Just support those 4 channels, even watch them all, pick your
Even
best.
if you don't want to vote, just I'd say
subscribe
check
to
your
all
stuff out.
4.
Subscribe, like, all the good stuff, all the bells. And
Every
whistles.
single one of them are worthy of being nominated. Right. So yeah.
Let's see. Texas got some poopy emojis.
Poopy.
Not now, poopy pants. Yeah. Yeah. But man, did y'all? I guess we could hang out for a little bit, man. We were kind of
got any questions? If anyone,
we usually go like 2 hours, but is there anything anybody want to bring up?
Any like future streams they want to watch or they want us to cover?
Yeah.
I did see a message from Dan about the Grindhouse films.
Yeah.
He's gonna try and square it with Lorne to do it. I think it's a week Tuesday.
Right.
And we'll be covering Hell Night, I think it is, and Humongous.
Right.
So hopefully that gets green.
It'll be on the Dead End Drive-In.
Beyond Visited by Voices 1, and I think it's called like the Dead End. It's like a new feature that Dan's doing. Dirk was on the first one, of course, with Gore and Dan.
Let's see. Texas is asking, when is the next VS stream? Yeah, we was trying to plan that for like in the summer. I was thinking like we probably could do it in the spring. I mean, spring's here. We could do it.
We could do one before the summer because we
could do it like we were gonna do Zombie versus Yawn of the Dead, but
yeah.
But yeah, we have to get all our ducks in a row and get everybody on the same page. But
the summer slasher one we was thinking of doing is the Burning versus Madman.
Right.
Which I think would be it would be a hard one to call. I would slightly go for the Burning, but yeah.
We definitely gotta get Texas on. I believe Gizmo's on there with us on the Dawn of the Dead versus Zombie. And we got to figure out who else is going to come on as well.
So Texas, let us know which you would pick out of them two. Yeah. I don't know if I don't think I've asked him that before.
Right. Let's see. Wild Wrangler's asking thoughts on Death Dream 1974. Yeah, man. It just got a 4K from Blue Underground. I got the Blu-ray. I think the Blu-ray looks great. I really like Death Dream, man. It's creepy as shit. Like some it's kind of like I'd say it's like an anti-war horror flick, you know,
like a monkey's paw.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piss a lot of people off now, but I didn't like it at all. And
you don't like Death Dream? Oh
no,
shit!
But I seen it 15 years ago when the Blue Underground DVD came out. It didn't hit at all for me. I was just bored stiff with it, to be honest. But my tastes have changed so much that maybe I like it.
It's 15
it's Bob
years.
Clark, for fuck's sake,
Shit.
man.
Yeah. Yeah, 15 years. That's
Texas is Team Dawn.
Oh yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
So what would Gizmo be then? Would he be Dawn?
I think it's Zombie. I think it's Zombie.
So
he likes Dawn too, though, but I think he's Zombie, if I remember right.
So we probably got the 3 then for Zombie. So we need another 2 then and Tex.
Yeah.
Dawn. Burning v Madman's awesome. Wild Wrangler just said. Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
Right.
That's gonna be hard. It's like picking one of your favorite sons or something.
I already know. Like I'm Madman.
I'm burning. You're gonna try and get like CK or Uncle Bill.
I'm trying to get them both.
That'd be awesome, man.
But
hopefully Dana would come on and support the Burning, maybe.
Yeah, she would for sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she would.
And then see if Gizmo wants to do, if he's the Burning.
Right. But yeah, man. Let's see.
Any more, like, if anyone in the chat has got any more little movies paired up, like verses that they would recommend us doing?
Yeah, like name some like really good verses.
Yeah, it's always fun to go
something
through
that you know, that's maybe not like that most
not
people wouldn't think of.
Yeah, not mainstream or anything, but yeah.
Or maybe just 2 films that are similar in tone, but you wouldn't never think about it, like never put it together, you know.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. And there's tons when you think about it, if you actually sat down. I mean, Stage Fright, an opera.
Gizmo hates Madman. He says, I freaking hated Madman, so that will be the easiest battle ever. Shit, man.
There you go then. If Dana agrees to do the Burning.
Well, what'd you say about Gizmo, about between Dawn and Zombie? A Zombie, I believe, right?
That'd be an interesting, like, kind of conversation. Because I know UB loves, like, I think it's his favorite film. I think John Grande as well loves that film.
Yeah. But
what about, I was thinking, opera versus Stage Fright, but would we get 3 for Stage Fright? That's the thing. Because I'll be opera all day long, as you know.
Yeah, I can't see. I don't know though. Yeah,
maybe might be able to get 3. Yeah,
maybe. It's hard to beat opera, man.
Oh man, yeah.
Let's see. Gizmo says Zombie. Okay, cool. Anyone bows out for Madman and Burning, I'll be a sub. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, man, I don't really know what else. I guess we'll get out of here unless y'all want to
Gizmo just said Henry versus Maniac. That's a good
Henry
game.
versus Maniac.
I don't like it, Henry, to be honest. Or I didn't like it when I seen it.
To do that one, I would have to actually watch them both again. It's been a long time.
Because I know you love Henry as well, don't you?
I love them both. That's why
you sent me the 4K to that, so I'll have to give it another go.
Yeah,
I can't see myself going against.
I got both 4Ks, so I have to give them both a fair, start from scratch. I've seen both of them quite a bit, and I've seen Maniac recently, but it's been probably a couple years since I've seen Henry.
Okay, yeah. That's definitely a good
that'd be a good one. Yeah. But yeah, man. I guess we'll get up out of here.
Do you want to plug Eurocult tomorrow?
Oh yeah. So tomorrow we got Eurocult. We're covering Murder Rock by the poet of the macabre, Lucio Fulci.
So get your breakdancing gear on in your dance kind of, because that film is.
Oh, that came up too. The Howard and them was talking about the Murder Rock. You can look at kind of tongue in cheek in a way.
Oh God, yeah, definitely, yeah. I've always felt that, yeah. Darren, how's the Peter Back fan club going? Oh man, I'm gutted I didn't get that pillow now. Thinking about it, for Severin bundle.
Oh really?
Probably, would it? Yeah, well, just the gimmick of it, like Did you see?
They didn't get me with it.
Did you see Dave Parker's review? They do a Burial Ground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was class, man.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
The three of them on it. That Ninja was one. Yeah, I love that film. Peter Back is an icon.
Yeah. For all the wrong reasons.
And he's still alive as well, which is great.
Shit. Right. But man, I guess we'll get out of here, man. And hope everybody has a good rest of your weekend.
Yep.
And don't go into dark castles, with crazy ass family members, and
don't watch shit.
And don't try to go restoring no frescoes and shit in old churches with crazy ass priests running around.
But one last thing, everyone, please check out House with the Laughing Windows. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee you. So,
yeah, check it out for sure. And but yeah, we're gonna get up out of here. Y'all have a good one,
guys, man. I'll see you all tomorrow on Dead Pit.
Yeah, and early in the morning, 10 o'clock.
Right.
Later, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Some are saying that you're bipolar.
Wow, what does that mean? What's the cure? Medicine? I'm winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
I'm an